Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. So just a reminder, even if we both speak Spanish very well, we should speak in English here because everything's recorded and someone may want to come back later and check the meeting. So how are you?
Fine, fine. I was working on the project, and I think I now understand how the autopost architecture works. So I'm ready to go ahead and start working on on the other part of the project.
Right. So did you ever got the chance to think about how to separate, because in the Autopost project everything is put together, like the authentication and the posting abilities are in the same module and are a little bit coupled. So have you started thinking on how to separate those in the modules that we defined?
About the authentication, the login with Facebook, right?
Yeah, so there are two parts, right? When it comes to authentication, and I guess that's why it's very confusing. So every action that we perform, or many of the actions that we will need to perform, like posting, like registering, like I don't know, pulling information from a social network, etc., will require some kind of authentication, right?
Right.
And let me share my screen and I will show you on the diagram that I wrote the other day. This is Drive. This is the Drupal Social Initiative. Okay, so this is right
Mhm.
here what I mean. So many of the operations that we will do will require authentication of one kind or another, right? Because to create or load a user, you need to prove that you are that user. To autopost, you need to prove that you own the fan page, or that you are the user that you want to post to. Like in Facebook, you cannot post in other places that are not your timeline, or you cannot post as another user, right? You have to post as yourself. So for that, you need to either authenticate the site or the user, right?
Right.
So even if we are not doing login with, which would
Mhm.
be this box here, we need to have some kind of authentication, I would say, in the base module.
Right. And actually, what I was doing is to separate the classes that will be basic for the social API, and the ones like that will be basic for the social post. So the social API have classes that you can implement in the social login. It was the name social out, and in the social post. And then social out and social post have basic classes that can be implemented. And in the terms of authentication and permissions for the social network, I was thinking of okay, you can have roles, you can create roles, and those roles can have permissions to log in for to Facebook and can post and can auto post to their profiles or to their pages. So for and site builder can just assign that permission, and when that permission is assigned in the user profile, there will be a button to log in using Facebook or using the social network, and he has to give the permission to auto post to his profile or I don't know pages, etc. I was thinking
Right.
in that way. I don't know if something is wrong with that idea.
No, no, I really like that. Just that, I think that there is a lot of confusion with what authentication means and what logging with means. So they are two very different things. One is proving yourself to a social network that you own certain account. So that could be saying that, I don't know, my website that is, I don't know, Drupal Commerce owns a fan page, right? So proving that you own an account is, for me, is this box here, this authentication box. Using the social network to log in to your Drupal user is this box here, and they are different things, but we use very similar names, and that's creating confusion. So in order to do auto posting, you need to prove to Facebook or to Twitter that you are the person that you want to post as. If you are not that account, then Twitter will respond with an error or whatever. But you don't need to log into Drupal using Twitter to do that.
Right. You just need to assign the permission to your social network account to post to it, or no?
Yeah, and that's what the authentication layer will do. And this authentication layer will live in the base module, and then the login with submodule will use the authentication layer as well that is in the base module. So yeah, basically, I think that there is some confusion with the naming of things, the login with and the authentication stuff. But yeah, basically in the code that I gave you that other day, there is in the same module part that deals with authentication and part that deals with posting, and we need to separate it in, this part would live in social API, and this part would live in social post.
Oh, speaking of permissions and posting, I was looking at the setting form of the Facebook auto post module that you share on GitHub. And I was wondering why the setting for was asking for a list of permission that you can assign or you can ask to the user. I think to auto post to a social network, you already should have a defined list of permissions that you will require.
Yes. Okay. So we are moving to more detailed things now. So that particular part of the implementation is because when you are logging into when you are trying to authenticate a request to Facebook or to get a token that can post to Facebook, you need to specify, hey, I want the token that I can use to do all these things. Like you can say create events, you can say create posts, etc., etc. With Facebook, you can do so many things that you may want or not want. That that particular form, what it's doing is it's crafting a list of permissions. That list is something that Facebook provides, right? And those are checkboxes. So basically what you're doing is you are building with that form, you're saying, I want to be able to post to Facebook, and I want Facebook to give me permission or give me a token that can be used to do all these things. Because, you may be interested in creating events automatically, but some other people are not. And you don't want to ask users, you know, that window that pops in Facebook saying, hey, this app social initiative is asking for permission to edit your events. You know the window?
Right.
So you want to limit that to what the user, sorry, the person that is configuring the site actually needs, and not, you know, everything that can be done.
I just thinking of, okay, suppose you have the Facebook auto post module.
Mm-hmm.
In the module, the only task that it should it performs it to post to Facebook, but it actually posts just normal posts, not events. Because then if you're going to create events and you might need to ask to the user what kind of content of what how he wants to post or something like that. Isn't it better to have like I will have a Facebook auto post just for normal posting, and I will have another module to for events or for or other stuff.
I see what you mean. You know what the problem is with that? That the events module would be exactly the same, but it the only difference is that you would be asking for the user, for the Facebook user, to allow you to modify events instead of modify posts. So it would be just a copy of it. And since, you know, it's exactly the same, it would be better to just have it everything and select with checkboxes. What do you want to allow the user to do? I don't know, create events or blah blah blah. I kind of realize what you want to do, and let me see if you would be okay with this alternative. Instead of exposing the configuration with the permissions, and let me see if I can open up the permissions and share the screen, because that will be, if someone is looking at this, maybe that will be more enlightening, more clear what we're talking about. Trying to load this page, and it's very slow. Why is it so slow? Maybe because I have my debugger. Yeah, I do have my debugger. All right. So okay. Where's the screen? Here I am. Gonna share my screen again. There we go. So, Lord. Yeah, I
You
didn't
know
realize.
why you got that
I need to
that
composer.
yep.
But I don't have the composer here. Do I? No. Yeah, I don't have the dependency here. Need to do. Oops. Okay, so it's composer update. Okay.
Composer Drupal update. That will no, it should be in the root, in the Drupal,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and then it will install the Facebook PHP.
Let me try it like this. I don't have my, God. There we go. I don't have my the Composer Manager module installed and configured, so maybe this will block. This will work.
I don't think so. I tried, and that's the problem. Yep. You
Okay.
you must need you. Mhm.
So is it Composer Drupal update? How do you do that?
Drupal dash a day.
Like that?
Yep. But you need the what is it? But you need the Composer Manager module.
Uh,
You need to initialize the script.
yeah,
It is
it's something like
it's in the module in the Composer Manager scripts in .php, I think.
Manager scripts. Oops.
Just to get the
Mm. Hmm. It's not here. Let me go and check here in Composer or the actual reports. There should be in the status report. Oh, see, composer.json is not readable. There's not even a composer.json.
oh you install with Composer directly, I think.
Yeah, I didn't do that. I used Drush. Gosh. Well, anyways, do you have it working in your local machine?
Yes.
So why don't you share screen, and then I
Let's
will figure out that later.
suppose have yours and the oh the okay. Mm-mm. What is the option to share? Oh, okay, should be here. Mm. What is the option to share your
Okay, let me show you.
screen share? I found it.
Yeah, in here. Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, I
Right.
do.
Okay. This is the one that is on GitHub.
Okay, okay. So basically, this is a clone of the options that Facebook allows you to do. As you can see, there are some options that are required. If you scroll down a little bit,
You'll find some, yep, publish actions.
yeah. So basically, this translates to a configuration object that is in that goes in the installation, that happens in the installation. So if you are building a social post experience that includes posting to Facebook events, then you need to select the permission for Facebook events. Otherwise, even if you make the right API call with the SDK, it will fail because Facebook will say, okay, yeah, everything looks good, but the user didn't approve for you to modify events on their behalf. So
if I give in the permission to manage pages and publish in fan page, I'm not giving the permission to actually create events
no,
because the no, where is the permission to do that?
uh, God,
There is
I
no
know.
something about events. Let's see events. You
Yeah.
provide access to the list of events the user is attending, which is
Uh-huh.
now we are looking for, and then enable
Yeah.
future events. Don't
The,
there is no really a permission to post or to create events.
Yeah, well, you have the permissions, for instance, to respond to events, right?
I think I must research to if what permission we need to post events. I think it's the same permission about of pages, and with that permission you can post events. As far as
I
I
maybe it wasn't like that in the past, but anyway, as you can see, there are many things that you need uh, to to ask for special permissions, right? Like for instance, uh, giving the ability to access the events that a user is subscribed to. And I believe that's the permission you need to create events. Even if the description doesn't say so, I think that you need that permission. But anyways, there are other things that are not events, but that you need special permissions. So maybe yeah, we need to do something about that because people will not like being asked for a lot of different permissions.
and some of them are not really related to posting.
No,
So
no, no, no. This is a complete list of the permissions that Facebook is asking you. So this permission part could go into the Facebook-based integration module. Remember that we have two dimensions, like the features, login with, posting, widgets, etc. And then we have a second dimension, which is Facebook, Twitter, etc. So in the Facebook module, we would have this form just once, and it would be used for posting, for logging, for bringing information from Facebook, etc., etc.
okay, what you're thinking of is to just have a form exclusively for Facebook, one exclusively for Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay. The
So
other,
it
actually, what I'm thinking of was different because I have this is the one I'm working on. I have the configuration social API, and I actually have two different. Actually, it will be three if we add the widgets, but I actually have the different configuration settings.
mm-hmm.
And if you just have or you just want to authenticate users using social network accounts, you only need to go to this configuration And currently I don't have any integration, but you can add one. And the same with auto posting, because when you create apps or in Facebook, for example, you have to say, okay, I will need these permissions to be available in my app. And I don't, maybe I just want the user authentication, but not the auto posting. So I don't care about enable the the posting, the social post module. So I don't need to create a single form for every social network.
What I think is that in the example that I sent, you basically, if you go to the outer post, you can see that there is an
This,
integration tab. No, the other tab.
yeah, the integration of that this one.
Yeah, there is an integrations tab which is listing all of the integrations that are available for auto posting. And in there, if you go to Facebook
Mhm.
now, in there you will see that the things that are in here should be only the things that are specific to auto posting. Right now we have everything, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
all these here, everything that is in here, except maybe the available destinations,
Hmm.
because the available destination is specific to auto posting. Everything else should be in a form that is common to all the features, right? Is common for posting, for logging with, and for widgets.
Yeah, and although we just don't really need to specify
Well,
a,
yeah, I get it, but if they wanted to, they could use that.
but it just uh the complicated to do that because we first divide the social API in projects into three, actually four: the social API projects itself, then the social post, the social authentication, and the social widgets. If you want to add a unique form for Facebook, you will need to create like a specific submodule for every single social network, and that's just a little, I don't know, I'm
Right,
not.
right, but we will need a module for Facebook, right? Because Facebook will have specific things that only can be dealt with within the scope of Facebook, and Twitter will have all the specific things. So we will have these four base modules, right? And for every social network that wants to integrate with these three features, we will need another module. So if you want to do, let's say that you only care about logging with Facebook, right?
Mhm.
What modules would you need? You would need social API, because that's the basic one. You always need this one, social API. And then since you want to do login with, you
You need
need social
social,
auth. And then since you want to log in with Facebook, you need social Facebook.
but then you need the module that is specific for user login, because the Facebook integration will be divided into okay. What I was thinking of how the social API and its submodules must work or should work is that every single module just have to do a specific task, and those tasks are divided into auto posting, authentication, user login actually, and widget. So instead of having a big module to integrate Facebook, I just want to have a small module that allows me to post to Facebook, or another small module that allows me to uh, to to log in users using Facebook. I don't want a
Okay.
big module that does everything.
I think that it's okay. It's kind of actually a little bit problematic if we have, you know, so many different modules. If you want to do a couple of things, you have to install so many stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and I have a stop uh, in a moment, but I want to share this with you and see what you think about it. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
So imagine that this is the ecosystem. Actually, this is social.
Facebook.
This is what I'm thinking, right? And we have social API, social auth, social post, and social widgets. Okay, so um, imagine that you want to do uh, with Facebook, you want to do logging, right? You will need this, this, and this, right? And that's all it takes, three modules. But that's a lot already, right? Three modules to do Facebook login. So the thing, or what I think it's a good thing, is that imagine that someone comes and says, okay, I had to implement this for my project, right? And I had to do logging and posting with Instagram, and now I'm sharing it. So if Instagram only provides these two, it's okay, right?
Right.
You can only log in and post with Instagram. Later on, someone can say, oh, but I need to add widgets to this, and I know how to do it because the social initiative people provided some documentation on how to do this. So they can submit a patch and they provide the integration with widgets,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have support for widgets. So basically, these parts, they can live independently. So you could have something like this, and everything else works, right? You don't need to have the
So
big module.
so you will have like as a module called social Facebook, and then you will have sub modules inside the social Facebook project that will allows you to post.
I
I know allows user to log in and widgets, and you will just enable the one you needed. For example, is that if I just want user to log in user using Facebook, I will allow social Facebook module, but that module will have sub modules inside, or
okay.
or
I think that's a little bit too much, but I guess that there is no reason why we can't do it like that. I think that just providing the plugins that work with post, that work with widgets or with logging are enough. It's okay to have them all available. But if you feel that having it in different sub modules, that works for me as well.
but what do you think is better, to have them all in as sub modules in the same
Yes.
project of
Yeah.
yes yep, I think it's okay.
I feel that the to my taste, the best solution is having a single social Facebook module that provides integration, because remember that this will only be integration
Yeah.
with this, right? So this will be very small. and these will only be integration with this. So this will be very small. And these things here may mean that there is a class that implements a specific interface, and that's it.
Okay, I understand now. So
Yeah, but both approaches work. I think that that whatever route you want to go, it's okay.
okay, because what the social API group first thought of was to unify modules that already exist on Drupal.org. So, for example, for Facebook, I was thinking of using modules that already exist, like Simple Facebook Connect to login users and Facebook Auto Post to auto posting. Then there are Facebook comments, there are Facebook like button that will be implemented as widgets in just one, yeah, as widgets.
I
So I don't know if
I think that we will need to write this social Facebook. I don't think that we need to write a lot of social network integrations, but I think that at least having Facebook and Twitter could be a good example and a good thing. I don't think that we can leverage any existing project for this because we want to, because everyone is doing things differently. That's the whole problem. So we want to either have them work in our way, which would be the same as asking them, please write social Facebook for us, or we write social Facebook. So that's kind of the thing that I feel that we have here. We should have a kind of a base framework, those 4 modules that we talked the other day, and we should have then the network integrations with the 4 base modules. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Then whoever wants to come and contribute to social Twitter, then they are more than welcome.
right. And actually, the first step after finishing the social API beta, or I don't know, is to start working with projects that already exist and to try to port them. So
Yes.
now that we are using a common interface that in which you can use whatever whichever I don't know library you want to use, it will be easier to integrate the other projects.
Yeah. Yeah, I hope so.
Or maybe what we can do is to actually provide the social Facebook, and provide the login and auto posting I don't know actions and sub modules separately. So so you can have the social Facebook and you can have the already existing modules from Drupal.org.
That would be trickier. Anyways, Valentin, I'm so sorry. I need to stop the meeting now because I have something else, another meeting that's starting in 2 minutes. Please send any questions that you have in IRC. I'm pretty sure that you know how to find me, right?
Okay, great. See you later.
Okay, bye.